Hey everyone, we are back. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at our 5 most popular wireless AXS mounts made by Leap. We're also going to compare them with the stock SRAM stuff, see what's lighter. Just look at some different setup options, and I'm also going to walk you through the installation process of the mounts. So let's get started. What I have here is the SRAM pod. This features a little bit of adjustment. You can loosen this bolt here and angle the pod to your liking. You can also move it, closer to or farther away from the brake lever with this matchmaker attachment. And also the buttons on here, it's just a simple over-under thumb shift. So that's what we're looking at with the stock AXS wireless pod. Let's throw it on a scale and see how much it weighs. So it weighs out to 51.4 for me. Next, I have the wireless blip mounts. These things are pretty basic, made out of a thin piece of plastic. The button itself is really small and smooth. You may or may not like that. I love the Leap buttons just because they're a little bit bigger, have a little more texture. We'll also see what that looks like as we install these on the bars. These things, nice and lightweight. When you put them on the bars, oftentimes people like to use a little tape or glue to hold them down just because they don't have the tightest fit. Something really cool about these though, is that you can put one of these on either side of the bar and then your whole shifter setup can just be a button on each side. That might be good. You might like to explore and discover a more ergonomical way to have your shifter set up. We'll look at those with the Leap components, but let's weigh these first. 15.6 grams for the set is what I have there. We decided to also just weigh the blips with the buttons minus the clamps because realistically, if you wanted to, you could use the original button configuration and put that into the Leap components mount. So just giving you plenty of things to think about in case you want to mess around with different kinds of setup. 13.6 for those. That's the original setup. This is the one with the grip buttons. 15.6, let's say. So all the Leap kits come with replacement buttons. We ordered the large grip button just because we feel like it's really good for mountain biking. Shifting with a larger, bigger surface that's textured, so much easier to make contact with than a small one. These are great, but they're intended as sort of a cross-purpose shifter. You can use it for commuting, road, mountain, cross, whatever. Right now, we're thinking purely of mountain biking. So this is what we have as a replacement button for all of our blips. And then the set with the grip buttons comes out to 17.5 grams. So we're looking at a gram per blip. All right, folks. So we're going to go over the button install process. I just want to mention all of our kits come with the appropriate tools to install the buttons onto the blips as well as the mounts onto your bike. So there's not going to be anything extra you need when you order this stuff. I also want to take a second to just show you, since I have this up close, just the difference in the button size. You can see that this one is textured and a lot bigger. You can use the button from the back, from the middle, from even right on the pivot point, you can still activate the shifting. This smaller one, you've got to be pretty spot on with your shift. You can hit it towards the bottom, but once you get to that pivot point, it's really hard to activate the shift. So that's just a small thing I wanted to point out. The bigger button gives your shifter a little more sensitivity, which is nice, especially when you're mountain biking. On to the install. So you can see that this one has the button installed already. Super easy. What you're going to do is you're going to take your tool your little pin tool, and it's going to have this little pin here. You're going to push that out. If you look on the bottom side of this, there's 3 holes. You're going to put this in the hole that's closest to the side. And this is how you are going to situate your pin tool to push out the pin from the blip. So let's take this out of the mount. There we go. If you look closely at this, you'll notice that on one side of your blip, there's a serial number. You want to push the pin out from the side that has a serial number. So, just pushed it out. This pin, the side that's opposite of the serial number is going to have a little flattened portion. It might be kind of hard to see on the camera there, but that's just really important to keep in mind because you're going to push this in the same direction that it came out. So now that we have that little pin out, this puppy comes right off. Take your grip button, press it onto here. This grip button has a hole all the way through so you can push the pin back in. And you're going to push it on there. And you're going to do it until you can see through the hole. You want to make sure that the holes are lined up nice and good here. So I have the button on, and now I need to push this little pin back in. In order to do that, you're going to take the pin tool and you're going to put the pin in the hole that's closest to the middle. Just take this little pin, put it in the hole. So you are going to push this in all the way. And if you were so inclined, you could actually just put this back in the SRAM stock blip holder. You know, there's always different options you could do. If you wanted to use these smaller stock minimalist holders for whatever reason and just have a bigger button for your mountain biking, this might actually be the way to go. But that's just one option. So that's how you install the button onto the blip. All right, guys, I thought this would be a good second to do a little weight breakdown of each one of the different mounts. I just want to mention that on the scale currently, I have the 2 blips and I also have the mounting screws. So this will represent the weight of the complete shifter. First one I'm going to do is the center bar mount. These ones are going to mount in the center, close to the stem on the bar. It's like a total weight of 27.5 grams. I only have one side on, so realistically there'd be one on each side. Kind of a nice idea if you are doing some riding on flowier trails or MMRs. Might even be a nice idea for a gravel setup where you might have your hands close to the stem a little bit. Just a nice alternative to what the normal setups are. So center of the bar mounts. On the bar in the middle, the next mount I'm going to weigh is the underbar mount. This one, just like the other one, you're going to have a blip on each side of the bar, but these ones are going to be closer to the grip. It's also going to be underneath the bar instead of on the bar. Total weight of 26 grams for this one. With this one, you're going to put one on each side between the grip and the brake. Kind of a little more standard setup. Feels like you got a good compact positioning up there. There's not too much stuff up there. So if you like to keep things nice and neat, this would be a good choice. I'm going to take 2 screws off because the rest of the ones that I have only require 2 screws. The next one I'm going to weigh out is the double underbar mount. This one mounts, like it says, under the bar. It's a double thumb shifter. Important to take into account. 22 grams. In all honesty, I was liking the one before this, but this configuration where this one comes slightly out to the side and this one's just hanging right there, it feels so good. So double underbar, another nice configuration option that also looks very slick. And next one is the double on-bar mount. Mounts on the bar, it's a double thumb, one right under the other. 22.5 grams for that one. Double on-bar mount is what's pictured here. This one has the shifters, both thumb, one above, one below. Great positioning. Great area if you are a guy that does one finger braking and likes to also be in contact with your shifter buttons at the same time. Double on bar, my friends. Final one is the original mount. This one is really cool. Really similar to rapid fire. Going to mount under your bar. You're going to have a thumb shifter and then a finger shifter. 23.3. All right, so we went ahead and installed the original blip mount on there, the one that mimics rapid fire shifting, positioning. So if that is what you like, then this might be the configuration that you want. Install was really easy. It looks really smooth and clean. Initial impressions just here in the shop, when I hold onto the bar and feel the texture, I mean, this gives really good discernment about your position, which would be nice for a technical trail if you want to shift. And just really nice activation, actually. Feels great, looks great. That's the original mount. And that completes the 5 most popular Leap blip mounts that we have. Just in summary, the stock SRAM shifter pod comes out to about 52 grams. All of the Leap components mounts are around 26 grams. So you're saving 25, 30 grams around there with the Leap stuff. All the mounts are in stock. They don't come with the blips. You're going to have to buy those separately. Pricing wise, the full setup, the Leap components mounts with the blips is going to be the same price as the basic shifter pod from SRAM. It'll be about $50 cheaper than the Ultimate. Everything's in stock. We have it to order if you'd like. Thanks for joining us today. Like and subscribe. Comment. Let us know what you like or didn't like, what you want to see in the future. Click on the little bell icon and you'll get notified whenever we release a video. And until next time, happy riding.